Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Look, the VA is still coming after your money, and now it is being pushed by the House lawmakers urging the VA to reach out and let 40,000 plus individuals know the current status. So are you one of them? I hope not. But here's the thing. I'm going to read the headline here. The big thing is look, support the channel, obviously, subscribe. But the big thing here is hit the like button, that thumbs up, and let the video run out. This is really important because this information is really targeted toward low-income veterans and often elderly veterans. Okay, our brothers and sisters out there that are in the most vulnerable situations. This is the type of information we need to collectively make sure gets into their hands. And there's only really two ways we collectively can do it, and that's hitting the thumbs up and letting the video run out. Those two things tell YouTube, keep pushing this information out. All right, so with that, here's the headline. VA will delay, not expunge, debt payment for pensioners. VA will delay, not expunge, debt repayment for pensioners. Remember, I did a video not too long ago on the overpayment of pension payments to veterans, and now the VA is circling back around going, oh, wait a minute, we overpaid you, and now we want our money back. So again, they're going to delay that, but they're not forgiving it. So I want to jump into that. If you want to support the channel, please consider being a member. It helps me to find you quicker in the comments as well. Thank you so much. That little join button at the home page somewhere next to subscribe, I guess. I'm not really sure exactly where to find it. All right, so jumping into it. House lawmakers on Monday urged leaders at the Department of Veterans Affairs to inform 40,000 low-income and elderly veterans immediately about accounting errors at the VA that caused hundreds of millions of dollars in overpayments to pensioners. The VA instituted a moratorium in November on debt collection related to the overpayments as it works to let all impacted veterans know about their debts, amounts owed, and steps required for repayment. Let's do that again. To know about their debts, amounts owed, and steps required for repayment. You're paying it back. And again, let's go back a little bit. About an accounting error at the VA that caused hundreds of millions of dollars in overpayments to pensioners. I don't know, I'm just getting my check, right? And, you know, it's not substantial, by the way. So now they're trying to figure it out. So let's move on. Representative Matt Rosendale, I think is how you say his name, chairman of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs subpanel on technology modernization, criticized VA leaders during a 90-minute hearing about the lack of information conveyed to lawmakers on how accounting mistakes occurred and plans to readdress them. The purpose of the hearing was to examine glitches at the VA.gov, the consumer portal that veterans use to access services and information, which I recently did a video on that as well. Lawmakers sought to learn more about pension overpayments, which the VA first reported to the subcommittee last month. There are still many outstanding questions. When did the VA leaders first realize there was overpayments? When are those debts going to be erased? Asked Rosendale, who noted he has introduced legislation, the VA Watching Over Electronics Act, to improve automated monitoring of the VA's benefits system. Kurt Delbean, Assistant VA Secretary for Information and Technology, and other VA officials who testified said the agency is still going through thousands of records to identify and assess all of the overpayments. The moment we know, we strive to communicate that information to the veteran as quickly as possible, Delbean said. The process involves comparing income self-reported by the veteran with data from the Social Security Administration. The VA does not yet have a figure on the total that was unable to provide lawmakers with the range of individual debts. The VA began to notify pensioners in 2022 after initially discovering that overpayments were made to about 10,000 veterans and their survivors. Remember, pension, VA pension, I describe it as a safety net program, a low and no income safety net program. It's for veterans, and it's also available for surviving spouses. So it's another benefit for surviving spouses. So that's why they're saying originally in 2022, the letters went out to about 10,000 veterans and their survivors. Updating accounting tools enable them to pick up errors dating back to 2011. Subsequently, the VA has identified about 30,000 additional cases of overpayments. Mistakes occurred when the income that the veterans self-reported was not validated with the comparison data from the Social Security Administration, according to officials at the hearing. The VA opted last month to delay debt repayments until it had developed and implemented a robust plan for notification and managing repayments. This is a direct liability that the veterans have to the VA. This is a direct liability that the veterans have to the VA because of the VA's overpayments, right? So this is, let's see, Representative Self, Texas, asked whether the VA has plans to forgive the debts. I'm not aware of any policies related to expungement, said Paul Shute, VA Deputy Undersecretary for Automated Benefits Delivery. Self urged VA officials to focus efforts on informing impacted veterans about their debts, the moratorium, and options for repayment. Many veterans don't know about it or that you can delay them. That's something we probably ought to make clear to our veterans, he said. And that's how that ends. But I also want to throw out that there is also debt waiver that you could put in for. So the VA, may not be expunging or forgiving your debts. However, there is the debt waiver form that you can complete, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. I recently had completed a video on that, and there's several different things that can happen with that form. They can approve it, it's like any claim, right? So they can approve it and waive all your debt, or they can deny you, or you can meet somewhere in the middle. They might forgive some of it. So I would venture to say that if you are a veteran in a low or no income situation where this is just adversely impacting your life, you might want to consider putting in one of those debt waivers, requesting the VA to waive that debt for you. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.